left off talking about setting up the directions for the lab. So how did you get the students started or show them what they should be doing?
Okay, so I had all the all the materials with, up in the front that they have at their desk, and I explained each of the tools that they would use. I explained that the safety aspect, they need to have goggles and gloves, and so each group had that. Me and my co-teacher walked around and made sure they had each desk had their equipment. We gave them their ALP pellet, which is about this, you saw it, was about the little tinfoil ball, and then they were able to begin after we started talking. And I just explained the process and what they can and cannot do in the lab.
And you did some modeling with your pellet to kind of show them what they should be
That's
looking
correct.
for.
Yes.
I did notice in the back of the room there were some students who started with their owl pellet a little bit early, and I noticed there was some confusion. Maybe they weren't paying attention. What do you think you could have done to kind of prevent that in the future?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, now you mentioned that, I do remember that. And probably what I should have done was hold off with the pellets at least, or even the equipment, and talk about the equipment and the process, and then hand them out the stuff that they need for their lab. So
yeah, I think they were just so eager to get started. They just got right into it without
you're right, which is a good thing. You want to get them excited to get started, but yeah, they need to know what to do before they trip over themselves. You're right.
Yeah, so maybe in the future, just hold off, like you said, on giving the owl pellets until you've gone over everything, and maybe give something typed up that they can have in front of them. So, but you also have your in-class support teacher, which is nice. You guys work well together.
Thanks. Yeah, we try to rotate around the classroom enough to be on top of everybody.
Yeah, no, that was definitely good. I could tell that you guys had a good relationship working together. So overall, if you're looking at the whole lesson, what do you think the strengths were there?
Strengths were it was hands-on, and the kids were able to get in, and working with the lab partner and being hands-on, I found that they were able to work well together. So every group seemed to be on task, and working the whole time, and discovering, and then rediscovering, moving things around, like, oh, and then once you found something, like, oh, I want to see what that is, and then I find something, you were looking over at me. So I found that each group was very engaged.
Yeah, I did like that, because I noticed the groups were working well within their group, but I also saw them comparing what they had with other groups.
That's right, yes.
So that was a really great way to see not only what they found, since the different groups ended up with different skeletons, that was a good thing for them to see and kind of compare. What do you think any of the weaknesses were in that lesson?
Kind of what you said, the strength, what you just said that you liked. Also, I think there was a little bit of weakness with that too, is where we might have been working and the kids were very excited to see what the other kids were doing, and they were almost leaving their thing half done, looking at somebody else's stuff, and then coming back, and then, oh, looking over here, and then, so, there's some lost time there. But again, it was a positive, but you could maybe I could probably streamline it a little bit more.
So what do you think you could do to focus them in on just their group, and then maybe set some structured time for them to interact with other groups?
That's probably the best. Leave some time at the end of the period and say, once we discover everything, once everything's separated, each group can then now walk around and show the other groups maybe, or at the end, have them all laid out in the front with their names on it. Like maybe they'll put a little tag, maybe a little sticky note, and say, hey, this is our group. Maybe even give them team names if they want to make up their own team name, and say Team Owl, or whatever they could use their imagination for.
I think that's a good idea. So maybe next time you run that lesson, that could be something you could try.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Compare it. Okay, so again, I want to thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I think you had a great objective. The lesson was very engaging. I could tell all the students were very interested in it. We definitely identified a few things we could work on next time around for that lesson, but overall,
great.
You did a great job.
Thanks for your feedback. I appreciate it.
Please tell me it's still actually videoing. Yes.